Okay, attendees, no falls allowed. Part one, Adam Pook here, Adam Pook, Longevity Health in the actions that you learned in No Falls Allowed Part 1. The next level is the first bit of load bearing, and the first if-then scenario in this action is a huge concept, and it's the load bearing of the fingertips. As we got into the physiology of the sensory nervous system of the human body, with sensor receptors clustered in the fingers, and this is a huge concept. And the first bit of load bearing is essentially taking the fingertips and pressing them into a wall and slowly turning. I call this the Magic Pickle Jar, as if we're trying to open from palm down to palm up. This is impossible to open pickle jar. Why is this so freaking important, and what is the huge concept? The huge concept is that we know we need to have stronger muscles in the spine, stronger muscles in the pelvic floor, all these things that open up the hip joint and keep our core strong. We get into why as we dive deeper into the physiology. But the huge concept is we cannot consciously turn these muscles on. There's no way we have the computing power to walk down the middle of a moving train and not tip over unless it's the unconscious or the cerebellar element of movement that's controlling the spinal muscles for us. Now, when I apply pressure, it's really basically, ultimately it's simple. Our brains, your brain, does not want you all through the toe to have your toes snap off. So if I put pressure through the toe into the wall, the leg will actually rotate out, the lower leg will rotate out in order to create straight alignments of bone along with the vulnerable phalange. And in part one, we got into why fingers and toes were called phalanges, a military term, a forward phalanx that's collecting data, sending it back to the center, adjusting the system. So the first load bearing is actually, I'm applying pressure through the fingers, slowly turning up. What I want, and here's the if-then scenario, so this is kind of tricky, it's a lifestyle, we'll get deeper into this, is that if you feel the engagement of the rib cage, the center, what you're doing is igniting the core through the pressure of the fingers. Magic Pickle Jar. Apply pressure, turn. A few breaths. Apply pressure through the toe tips, turn. Is this a little bit dangerous? Do I want to be really close to you in No Falls Allowed Part 2? Yes. We are learning a lifestyle made of habits that are protective. And a huge theme is that it's the loading of the fingers engages the unconscious musculature that creates the hip mobility that prevents the fall. So, Magic Pickle Jar. Fingers dig into wall. Turn till you feel the core kick on. 3 breaths of holding that state of tension, and that is where great movement, resistance to falls, starts to emerge from. Finger and toe loading.